Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Movie Brothers podcast. I'm your host, Parker Quinn. With me, as always, is Brandon Brown.
Brandon, what up, everybody? Sorry, my bad. Interrupted you.
Stepping on my intro, aren't you?
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, guys, this is the Movie Brothers podcast where we talk movies, TV shows, anything in pop culture. We have a blast with this show. We have a lot of fun. We usually have some special guests come in, but today we're going to stick it easy and simple, just Brandon and I. For today, we're going to talk about the four big superhero movies that came out this year. We are now done with the superhero movies for the year. And so we just thought, you know what, might as well rank them since we've seen all four of them. And yeah, just a good way to kind of put a period at the end of the sentence, I guess you could say, to all the superhero movies that came out this year. Before we begin, Brandon, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the quality of the superhero movies we've had this year? Because frankly, we've had a few years of just maybe one out of like six or seven are good, and then we've had some mediocre years, but what did you think of the quality overall this year?
It was better than the last couple of years than from what we got in superhero movies.
Yep, agreed.
And like I said, not all of them were great this year. But yeah, I think Marvel is learning their lesson a little bit, and DC is hitting the ballpark.
They're off
Picking
to a
up,
great start. DC's off to a great start with their new cinematic universe. So
yeah,
yeah,
and that which makes me can't wait for anything more coming out of DC
oh yeah,
because everything from Marvel really hurt their reputation for the last couple of years.
oh for sure.
Yes, they learned their lesson a little bit, but now it's time for DC to step up and show people how it's supposed to be done.
No, absolutely, I agree with you. So for those of you who don't know, the movies that we're going to be talking about are Captain America: Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Superman, and the Fantastic Four: First Steps. And we're going to be ranking them from our least favorite to favorite. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this. So anyway, Brandon, do you want to go first for the ranking, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, go for it. What's your number four?
So my number four is Captain America 4
Okay.
because I don't know, man. There's uh, because first was supposed to be a Surface Society, and then they scrapped that, which I don't know why just scrapped Surface Society. It's a great comic line, even though what you call it. I'm gonna stop myself right there because I still want to read more a bit about the comics about that, but. No, man, they rushed this movie. They rushed the movie.
Mhm.
Like literally made no sense for Red Hulk to be in there. Made no sense whatsoever. It just didn't make any sense. Like literally all the things Sam Wilson, Captain America was doing in the movie, like stopping like giant objects from hitting somebody, literally fighting a Red Hulk, and the only argument is he has a vibranium suit. Yeah, vibranium's very strong and everything, but the movie just didn't make sense. It still makes me question like literally everything about it. I feel like they rushed it. And just the story wasn't that good. Took them how many years to talk about Tiamat and in this movie to bring adamantium. Okay, cool. Well, whatever. You bring adamantium into the movie, what you call it, Captain America is literally weapon one, and then which starts off the whole entire weapons X, what you call it, line of characters and shit, including Wolverine, Deadpool, even though they're not from the same universe.
Yep.
But it just felt rushed, and I did not like that. I did not appreciate that.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So your number four is Captain America: Brave New World. So we'll go more in depth talking about it when I do bring it up in my ranking.
Oh, okay, my
So
yeah,
no,
yeah.
you're good. No, no, no. You can do your thing, but I'm not going to say anything until right now because yeah, Captain America: Brave New World is my number four.
Okay, well,
So we will discuss it anyway. Yeah, for me, this was a big miss for me. I think that first of all, this movie has nothing to do with the multiverse saga. Now, granted, if you look at the Infinity Saga and they made a movie that had nothing to do with Thanos or the Infinity Stones, at least they were still good and entertaining. Like the first Ant-Man has nothing to do with the Infinity Saga, but it was still fun and entertaining. This film, on the other hand, nothing to do with the multiverse saga, and it didn't work. Just
yeah.
overall, I think I got nothing against Anthony Mackie. I think he's a great actor, and I'm happy to see that he did get a lead role. But Steve Rogers is Captain America, and I think that's another reason why this movie didn't do that well at the box office. I think everyone, when they think Captain America, they think Chris Evans, they think Steve Rogers, Anthony Mackie's Falcon, right? Um, and I think that kind of hurt the film in a way. And I think the Sam Wilson character is better off as like a Disney Plus miniseries or something like that with say Falcon and Winter Soldier. Um, and of course, you got one of my favorite actors of all time in there, Harrison Ford, replacing William Hurt. Rest in peace, William Hurt. He did a fantastic job in the film. But I feel like this movie was okay. What are the cliffhangers that we never answered in the Infinity Saga? Oh, let's look at the Incredible Hulk because they
Yeah.
brought back everyone with the exception of like the Hulk for this movie, and it was kind of like okay, this feels more like an Incredible Hulk sequel than another Captain America film, and yeah, the writing was all over the place. The action scenes were mediocre at best. Like, and this is coming off of like, say, The Winter Soldier, which I think has like some of the best fight scenes in any um superhero movie, maybe just action movie in general with the second Captain America film. And then they have like very choppy, very poorly written, poorly directed and choreographed fight scenes. And so it just didn't work for me. And I think by far the worst post-credit scene Marvel has ever done.
Yeah. Yeah.
By far. So we will, so just a spoiler warning. We most likely will be talking spoilers for all four of these movies. So if you guys haven't seen Brave New World, First Steps, Thunderbolts, or Superman, spoilers. Um, the post-credit scene is the leader from The Incredible Hulk. He was the main villain of the entire film, and he's sitting in his cell, and he's just like, "Something's coming. You better get prepared." And that's it. And it's just like, that's all. That's it.
But you could have made like some reference to like worlds colliding because of incursions and shit.
Even a
But you
cameo.
did
Just we
exactly.
all know Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doctor Doom by the time this movie came out.
Or you could have just said fucking whatchamacallit. Like literally the last word he could have said was doom and then cut the black.
Like in this movie, you can tell there were a lot of reshoots. They did a lot of changes. Like Giancarlo Esposito is the head of the Serpent Society. By the way, phenomenal actor. I love this guy. Breaking Bad, The Boys, The Mandalorian. Anyway, you can tell they put him in here from for reshoots. When you watch the film, it is so poorly edited that you sit there and you go, that was not in the original script. You can tell. And they just added him. Like even that one action scene where he's shooting at Sam in the like on the street or something like that, where Sam's just driving around in his car and then he shows up out of nowhere and starts shooting him. It's like that came out of nowhere. That literally was not that important to the entire film. So it was literally, yeah, you can tell it was just a reshoot.
Yeah. I was like, why was he even in the movie anyways? I don't understand.
Yeah,
It's just like what, because they're gonna follow the leader? No, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, and then again, you got um Red Hulk. It was cool seeing Red Hulk, and frankly, I was actually kind of happy when we saw Red Hulk
Yeah.
because we haven't seen that kind of a Hulk in a while, especially nowadays. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is Professor Hulk going to like family barbecues and be like, "Hey guys, I have a son that you guys have no idea about from She-Hulk," which was like one of the fucking dumbest things they've ever done right there.
And they've butchered Scar so dirty.
There's they don't even I can guarantee you Kevin Feige and Marvel have no idea what to do with Hulk anymore. So when we saw Red Hulk and we saw Harrison Ford turn into Red Hulk and he was like the raging monster, it was like, yes, that's what I've been missing. I wish it was our actual Hulk, but like at least I got some sort of Hulk action right there.
See, I didn't mind a Hulk, Red Hulk, but they should have had something with like the other Hulks. You already introduced She-Hulk, you introduced Red Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Where's A-Bomb? Where's Doc Samson?
I
Where
would
are
love to
they?
see Ty Burrell come back because Ty Burrell played Doc Samson in the Incredible Hulk film,
Mm.
and obviously he never came back after that. I would love to see that guy again.
Man, to see him come back, be like, "Hey, man, I've been gone for a number of years. This is why Gavin Powers."
Yeah,
Boom.
exactly.
Like,
And you know what? I think the marketing destroyed this film too. They should not have put Red Hulk in any of the
it,
trailers.
the
Because
marketing for it
just
was,
imagine seeing in that theater, you had no idea Red Hulk was going to show up, and then Harrison Ford turns into Red Hulk, and you're like, oh, this
see,
is it, you know? Yeah, exactly. So
I
I just
wish.
that's one thing I wish they didn't show in the marketing. So yeah, overall thoughts. Any last minute thoughts you want to say about Brave New World?
Brave New World, Marvel, nice try. Please do better.
And they did do better, I think, personally, with the next films coming after.
Yes, they did.
And once again, we've talked about this multiple times. This was Disney saying, we need more Marvel movies. We don't care about the quality. This was the last time. I can guarantee you, because next year we're only getting two MCU films with Spider-Man and Avengers. And like I have faith that both of these films are going to work. And the other two films, in my personal opinion, that came out this year really did work. So I think
Mm,
this was Marvel's last one of saying, no, we're putting our quality over the quantity. So, and hopefully that's true. You know,
hopefully, man.
yeah.
Don't
All right.
know where Disney's going nowadays sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Brando, what's your number three?
But number three would have to be Thunderbolts.
Okay. So
Uh,
just quick thoughts about Thunderbolts. What do you got to say?
Thunderbolts, amazing. Even
Hmm.
though it's number three, amazing.
Yeah.
Like holy, like the pacing, what you call it, the character develop, the amount of character development there was with the amount of characters that were in the movie, what you call it, common interest, literally trying to push a message that's literally like everybody's in all the characters in the movie that are dealing with, but in like their own scenario and shit. It was like watching Avengers 1 all over again, which I loved.
Yeah.
So I was like, yes, this is the formula you got to keep on going with, even if you have to change some little bit of things throughout the years on different other movies. Like this is your formula. Don't change it.
Yeah.
And it worked for them.
Absolutely. So we won't go into detail on Thunderbolts until I bring it up at one point in the ranking. It is not my number three.
Okay.
So I'll just let you know my number three, quick thoughts on my number three, and then we'll further discuss when you bring up my number three. So my number three is Superman.
Okay.
Now I know it's number three. I really like this film. I just think the other two films were better. Um, I think that what James Gunn did was he made the most comic booky superhero movie ever,
Mm.
if that makes any sense. I do really like David Corn Sweat as Superman. I think that was a great casting choice. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, fantastic. Um, and of course, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was great. For me, I guess the reason why I have it so low at number three was they did a few things, and I'm nitpicking at this point because I actually love this movie. I loved it, but they did a few weird stuff. Like I remember they had like the monkeys like that were trolling
Yeah.
Superman online. I was like that was fun, but at the same time I was like, okay, that was a little weird. And then when Lex Luthor made that prison for everyone that he hates, he has his ex-girlfriend there. It's like, okay, that's not a compelling villain. That's just a guy that was like, "Oh, you made me like you broke up with me." So like he's just a rich boy that's spoiled, and he's just like, "Get rid of my ex girlfriend." Like just a few things here and there. I'm nitpicking at this point because I actually
Mm.
do love this movie. Mr. Terrific was fantastic. Like I think that one scene, and you know what scene I'm talking about if you've seen the movie, uh, was like just blew me away because I'm one of those guys that was not into Mr. Terrific at first, but then through like the Arrowverse or even the animated shows, but then that one scene made me go, okay, this guy's cool. Um, yeah, I mean, like again, it's just nitpicking stuff here and there, but overall, I think it was a great film. So yeah, we won't further discuss Superman until you bring it up. So Brandon, what is your number two?
But number two would have to be Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Honestly, like Fantastic Four is my what you call it favorite superhero team
Yes.
out of any other superhero team. But at the same time, just trying my best to remember like what happened in the movie. I know there are some things I could change, but I just don't remember the movie at all. I don't remember most of the movie, most of like the details of the movie right now. I just remember being sitting in the movie theater and just loving every second of it. But there are some things I can nitpick from it, but I just can't even think of them right now. So that's staying at my number two.
Fantastic Four is your number two.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk Fantastic Four because that's my number two.
Okay, well,
The Fantastic Four First Steps. I think this was Let me just say the most obvious thing. It's the best Fantastic Four movie.
No, most
Like,
definitely.
it's not even close. I actually rewatched this movie, I think like 2 or 3 days ago. Um, and it's great. It really is great. I love that they went with real Galactus and not a cloud. Like Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Mm,
The chemistry with these actors, you can like once again, if you get actors who have great chemistry and you can tell they are friends in real life, say the six Avengers, Downey, Evans, Hemsworth, Ruffalo, Renner, and Scarlett, you can tell they all love each other in real life, both in front of and behind the camera. These four actors are the exact same thing. And I love that they went with the 1960s almost futuristic look. They have it set in a different universe, which eventually will collide with the MCU, and that's the proper way to introduce the Fantastic Four into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that was very smart of them. I loved that it was comic booky. The first the montage at the beginning of the film showing the origins and everything like that, those were like comic panels. Like the very first issue of Fantastic Four, the cover of it is them fighting a green monster coming out of the from um from underground. You literally see that comic panel in the film. Like it is copy and paste, and it is fantastic. Um, I loved every single actor in the film. I love how people complain about Pedro Pascal being like, he's in everything. Why is he in everything?
because he's that good.
Because he's a fucking good actor. That's why. It's like people complain about Chris Pratt. Why is he in everything? Because he's a good actor. That's why. Um, so and Vanessa Kirby was fantastic as Invisible Woman. I think she's probably my favorite Invisible Woman.
Yes.
I still have a soft spot for Chris Evans as my Human Torch, but I won't deny what Joseph Quinn did in the role.
And Justin Quinn, he stole the show.
What I liked though was like Johnny wasn't the drunk idiot or like, like the cool uncle kind of stereotype that we saw from Chris Evans. He actually was like a scientist. Like he's trying to figure out the Silver Surfer's language and stuff like that. So like they actually made him smart, but he was still like the comic relief at the same time.
Mm.
The only like I love Ebon Moss Backrack as the Thing. We didn't get too much from him though. That's the only complaint I really do have, even though it's not even that big of a complaint because it's not his fault that he wasn't given the much material. But the material he was given, he did a great job with. It's just for me, I'm used to the Michael Chiklis as the Thing being like, why do I look like this? I don't like that I'm like this. Can I go back to being normal? And obviously they didn't go that route. So I mean, I just think he missed a couple. Again, not his fault at all. I think the writers missed a few things with the Thing where I'm like, I feel like they could have done more with him, but they're probably saving it for like a sequel or something like that. So anyway, I rambled off there. What do you got for more in depth with Fantastic Four First Steps?
Well, Fantastic Four, let's talk about the what you call it, the first couple movies before that, its predecessors. Fantastic, not including the one from like the 80s.
That
We're
movie
not
didn't
including
even
that
come
one.
out. The Richard Corman one, they made
We're
it
still
and they
not
never
talking about it.
released it.
We're still not going to talk about it. So,
Roger Corman,
for,
not Richard Corman. Roger Corman.
that we're not going to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
First one, Fantastic Four one, the first Fantastic Four,
Yep.
great, beautiful childhood, loved it. Let's keep it. Number two,
It doesn't hold up though.
exactly, doesn't hold up.
It
A lot of
doesn't hold up. I
nostalgia,
rewatched it and I was just like,
but
oh man,
nostalgia,
I loved it when I was a kid, but I'm as an adult, I'm watching it. I'm like, yeah,
but,
I'm
nos-
fine with never watching it again.
but nostalgia purposes,
Yes, of
okay,
course.
we love it.
Yes.
Number two, okay, cool, cool.
Rise of
We
the
can
Silver
do
Surfer.
Rise of the Silver Surfer, another nostalgia, but like
Yeah.
Gas Lactus, yeah, no, I'm
Guess.
not doing Gas Lactus, no. And then the reboot.
We talked about it like a few weeks ago.
No,
One of the worst.
no. See, I had to walk off there for a minute because no, no,
Yeah.
no. Fan Four Stick, no.
No,
This
it's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
I still get migraines just thinking about it. Like when I'm in a mood for like a good migraine, I'm just sitting down and saying, let me just think about
I want a
Fantastic
migraine.
Four.
Let's put on Fan Force Stick.
God awful.
No, yeah.
Unless you love mental pain,
Hmm.
that movie's for you.
I think like And we're going to talk more in depth about it when we talk about the other two movies, not Captain America, but the other films. I feel like all three, or I guess three of the four, because obviously not Captain America, three of the four superhero movies that came out this year had really big themes.
Mm,
Like, for example, like we'll talk about each theme when we get to each film individually. Fantastic Four, it was all about family and how family is the most important thing in the world.
that's literally what Fantastic Four is
That is
literally
the Fantastic
built
Four. And
on.
honestly, they never even built up to that in any of the previous films. It's like that's kind of the point of Fantastic Four. They're a family. The other films with Chris Evans never did that. Fan Four Stick never did that. The Incredibles did that. And that's
See
not
like
even a
the
Fantastic Four film.
see like the first two with that Chris Evans, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, let's figure out what's wrong with us. Oh, let's figure out the source of
They
the
saw their
problem.
powers as a disease and they wanted to cure themselves. That was the first film,
Yeah, literally, what was it then? Then within those two movies, it's literally just Johnny and Thing like pranking each other.
which was fun.
It was fun.
But
Like
at
that's
the same time, it's
literally
like, okay, I want to
that's
see
a
like actual development here, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, but I want to talk about one specific scene in general when Silver Surfer's chasing them through the black hole,
Yeah.
and that's when Franklin's born. Phenomenal CGI.
Yeah, it
I
was
haven't seen
that was
CGI
beautiful.
that good in so long, and I was just blown away by that. And I remember when we watched the film when they are walking into Galactus to meet Galactus for the first time.
Oh, I was scared. I
Dude,
got scared a
first
bit.
of all, before I finish what I was going to say, Galactus is terrifying. How can you make a character that looks like that, very cartoony, very corny? I get it from the comics, that terrifying, and it worked,
Give him a deep voice.
dude. Yeah, and the voice, I think it was Ralph Ineson. He was from Game of Thrones. He voiced Galactus, and yeah, he was fantastic. Anyway, what I was going to say was when they were walking towards Galactus, you, me, Chelsea, and Lorenzo saw this movie in the theater together. Lorenzo was sitting right next to me. When they were walking, I looked right at Lorenzo and I said, I'm getting like Stanley Kubrick 2001 A Space Odyssey vibes right now. Like
Yeah.
they were definitely going for that. And I love that they did that. They were going for like the 60s sci-fi take. Because again, a lot of people don't know this. 2001 came out before Star Wars. So that was the big sci-fi film beforehand. And so we're watching this movie and I'm seeing even them just in the spacesuits walking towards Galactus. I just went, this is very 2001 A Space Odyssey and I love it. So they're paying homage to Stanley Kubrick in that way. And I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about, but the one more thing I would do want to bring up: Captain America: Brave New World had the worst post-credit scene. This had maybe the greatest post-credit scene in Marvel history.
Yeah.
I wish we saw his face. I
I wish, but then
know,
that's a whole bunch of theories going down that route.
I know. So Matt Sheckman, who directed the film, now granted, the Russo brothers probably directed the post-credit scene. I don't know. I don't know if Matt Sheckman actually directed it himself because that's what usually happens. They get the director of the next film to direct the post-credit scene. Um, he said that was RDJ. Like that wasn't just an extra wearing a Doctor Doom suit. Like that was RDJ. So that made
Man,
that even that just makes me go, why didn't we see his face?
because it
Because it's
was
already because
mashed up.
it was RDJ in the suit. But you know what? I think that was a fantastic cliffhanger because like what do they always say when it comes to movies, TV shows, even plays? Have the audience, you know, they want the feeling of more.
Yeah.
The fact that we didn't see his face makes me go, I want more.
See, and that would have been and Captain America's end credit scene would have done so much more if literally like the leader was like, "Oh, it's coming. You want to know what's coming?
Mm-hmm.
Doom."
I
And
would
then
have
you
taken
have
that.
this end credit scene.
Like it's not even apples and oranges. It's literally you're comparing a steak to like an apple. Like,
See, like this makes me like excited to see the end credits for the next movie, which is going to be Spider-Man.
yep.
So maybe like Spider-Man just like chill in New York one or whatever. All of a sudden, like boom, incursion.
I honestly, we're getting a little sidetracked, but I just want to say a post credit scene for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think Portal opens up and Toby shows up. That's the post credit scene.
Yeah,
That's my guess. I don't know
yeah.
for sure. But
hopefully, man. Like, oh, I can't wait for this movie. But at
yeah.
the same time, Fantastic Four, amazing job.
Oh, that's such a good job. And you know what? I knew that they were going to do a good job. I just had that feeling when they officially announced the film. Just because, like, again, I love those Chris Evans ones when I was a kid. They don't hold up now. So I was looking for that one Fantastic Four film to legit just be, dare I say, fantastic. And we got it. And I'm so happy that we did because even when I was a kid, Fantastic Four was my team when I was a kid. I know a lot of people grew up with the X-Men. The Avengers basically became cool when the first film came out. Like we didn't have like an Avengers animated series when I was a kid.
Hmm.
But I had the Fantastic Four. I literally had like the 90s animated series, think the entire show on DVD, and I just watched that all the time. And so,
We had that. We had the early
yeah,
2000s,
yeah,
like anime, like TV show on YTV.
that's right. I forgot about that. So
Man,
yeah, like for me, I love the X-Men, but the X-Men wasn't the team that I grew up with. For DC, it was the Justice League. For Marvel, it was the Fantastic Four.
yeah, like I said, like this is my favorite superhero team. Like
Yeah,
the fact that they did such a great job at it, I was, oh man, I was happy.
yeah.
I was fucking happy.
And clearly, like when they were going for like the 60s look, they Matt Shackman also directed WandaVision.
You have to see
So
like,
so they were
yeah,
clearly going for like those sitcom like 1940s, 1950s, 1960s sitcoms that WandaVision was inspired by. So like it definitely blended perfectly, if you ask me, at least.
mm. No,
Hmm.
it did it. So he did well. What you call it? The way how he like mixed like 60s with futuristic like what you call it like era into one.
Hmm.
The city was beautiful.
Oh my God, was
Like
it
the
ever?
cityscape, like that one scene where it was where like literally Johnny's talking to Silver Surfer. I was like, what the
Oh my God. Like
like
that's the thing too. With it being set in a different universe, and then obviously eventually it will get into the MCU, Matt Shackman had the freedom to do whatever he wanted. He developed the world of the Fantastic Four. He didn't just develop the characters and the story, it was the world. So he had an advantage to say this is going to be something different because it's not necessarily set in the MCU. I think the Earth is 1999 is the MCU timeline
mm.
because they said that across the Spider Verse.
See, and I hope what you call it. I hope for like for some weird reason, like when they push Galactus through the portal,
Mm-hmm.
he might have end up in MCU or wherever,
That's
whatever,
true.
or whatever universe Secret Wars is going to take place in.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that actually. That could happen. Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know what else I can really say about Fantastic Four. Do you have any last minute things you want to say before we move on?
Honestly, no.
No.
Just that. Thank you, Disney. Thank
Yeah,
you. This is what we
honestly,
wanted.
thank you for doing it right. So yeah, that was your number two, right?
Yes, that was my number two.
Yeah. So the Fantastic Four First Steps was my number two as well. So Brandon, what is your number one?
Superman.
All right, let's talk Superman. What do you got?
Superman. Besides Spider-Man, this is one of my very first superheroes I started liking as a little kid. So I love the Justice League. I love the comics. Love the what you call it? Literally the what was it? 80s cartoon?
For Superman, the 90s.
90
I mean, I'm
the
sure there was one in
90
the 80s. I'm sure there
90s
was.
and 90s and 80s.
Okay.
Like literally like loved anything Superman.
Yep.
So then what movies do we get? We got the Christopher Reeve Superman, love them. We
Oh,
got
love
the
the first two.
yeah, yeah.
I
Like
will
the
I will say this: Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, underrated.
yes, Brandon Ralph,
Do
underrated.
I think it's like a masterpiece? Not at all. Like I think it's a good film. I
It's
don't
just
like
like
yeah.
it was just like a continuation of Christopher Reeve since like with Christopher Reeves, rest in peace, he couldn't
I
do it
mean, also
anymore.
at that point, not only because of the tragedy with Christopher Reeve, he was just too old to, let's be
Yeah.
honest. Like he couldn't do it anyway. But what they did with Superman Returns was it was a sequel to Superman and Superman 2, but we're ignoring Superman 3 and 4.
Yeah, we're
So
ignoring those
so it's kind of
ones.
like the Halloween movies, like the most recent Halloween films, how I don't know how many, like 12 Halloween movies. And then they just went, okay, we're making three more Halloween movies. The first one erases all the other films. So, in other words, our Halloween timeline is the original Halloween and then the three movies that we're making. The other films never existed. So that's what they did
Okay.
with Superman. It worked.
Which, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
whatever about that. Then what you call it, Henry Cavill Superman.
Man of Steel is your favorite movie of all time.
It was. It
Yes.
changed. It changed.
Oh,
But like,
did it?
yes, it did.
What is it now?
Fantastic Four. But it's not my number one for this year.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And I'm like,
I was about to say, I'm like, it's your favorite movie of all time, but yet you're putting it in number two. That doesn't make sense, but okay, whatever.
no, 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 no. This year, it's at my number two, but of all time, Fantastic Four isn't what you call it, my favorite superhero movie.
Okay.
I just really like Superman a little bit more this year.
Okay.
It's like Henry Cavill like got into got into like Superman's head a bit.
Yeah.
It was like cool and whatever. Now I can think of him as like what you call like as one of us instead of being like some like alien sent from whatever. That's a different topic and conversation. And then getting down to this Superman movie, it's literally like an homage to like Christopher Reeves, the
Yeah.
cartooniest Superman.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit of well, a couple aspects of what you call it, Henry Cavill Superman,
It
but
mixed
like
all the different versions of the character perfectly.
into the comic book Superman, which I fucking love. And it
Yeah.
was just did so well. And then you got then they show the Green Lanterns, what the Green Lanterns are gonna probably powers are gonna be looking like from here on out. Talked about like Hot Girl with like what you call it, with her backstory with what you call it, reincarnation and whatnot, whatever with Hawkman and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm just waiting to see what you call the other Green Lanterns because her and John Stewart like the comics.
Yep.
And
Because there was
I
a
can't
relationship
wait.
between them. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that dynamic. Just, this movie sets up the DCU in a good way
Mm-hmm.
and pays homage to like all the past DC stuff, like the animated series, comics. I was like, I love this. I need this.
Mm-hmm. It
It
gives
just
you
did
hope.
so well.
It
It did
gives
so
you hope
well.
for the
Yeah,
upcoming
it
universe.
gives me hope for like that all everything coming out
Yeah,
in the
I
future.
think I think this was a great start to the new universe. Personally, I think Iron Man, the first Iron Man, was a better start for like a cinematic universe. But having said that, this was a fantastic start. I remember like you, me, and Aaliyah saw this film, and as soon as the credits started rolling, you and I looked at each other and we're like, "This is a great start. It's a great start." Um, and I the way I see it, it is a live action episode of the animated series from the '90s. It was yeah, it paid homage to Superman so well, and especially with the Christopher Reeve era. Like as you mentioned, I think one of the best pieces of acting I've ever seen from any movie, to be honest, is from Christopher Reeve, the very first Superman movie, because he balanced Superman and Clark Kent in a different way, and no other actor has done it like Christopher Reeve until David Cornsweet, and I'll get to that in a second. The piece of acting I'm talking about, there's a scene in the very first Superman movie where right after he goes out flying with Lois and drops her off in at her apartment. He leaves as Superman, but comes back as Clark Kent. And when he comes in as Clark Kent, he goes like, Lois, we're supposed to go out to dinner. You're not ready yet. And she's like, okay, yeah, I'll go get ready. While she's getting ready, he's thinking about telling her, like, I'm Superman kind of a thing. And he knew, I wish I had my glasses with me right now to show like a perfect example. I'll use my hat as glasses. What he does is he's Clark Kent. His posture's not great. He's just standing there. He takes off the glasses and you just see like, I'm Superman. The posture's right. And then he changes his mind about telling her. She walks in. He's like, "Oh, Lois," like, and he goes back to that. David Cornsweet did something similar, not as good as Christopher Reeve in my personal opinion, but he did something similar. Was the scene when she's interviewing Clark as Superman because Lois knows Clark Kent Superman in this movie. He changes his voice, so he's like, "All right, Lois, let's do it. Let's talk about it." Okay, Superman, Miss Lane. Like he changes his voice, the posture changes, everything like that. And that is something I think it was a great homage to Christopher Reeve to do that. And as much as I love Brandon Routh and even love Henry Cavill in the roles, yeah, I'd even say Tyler Hoechlin from Superman and Lois. Great Superman. We've had great actors in the role. No one was able to recapture what Christopher Reeve did than what Corn Sweat has done. and it was fantastic. And we talked about how Fantastic Four's main theme was family. And I don't mean to be political. You know, I'm not a political person, and you know, I would never say something along these lines. But obviously, we're living in a world that is very questionable with violence and stuff like that. The theme for this movie is just be kind.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. And especially since we also live in a world where everyone says kind is boring. The nice guy is boring. The nice girl is boring, whatever. This movie's just be kind. Just be nice. That's all you need. Be human. That's the theme of this movie, and it really hits. And you can tell that that is what James Gunn's going with. And as a matter of fact, I mean, his biggest inspiration was All Star Superman, Grant Morrison's run. And I've read All Star Superman multiple times, and you can definitely see the DNA of All Star Superman in the movie. Um, yeah, I just think what James Gunn went to the emotional end of Superman, and I even said it like when you and I went to see Guardians 3. We walked out of that theater watching all three Guardians movies and the Suicide Squad. You and I looked at each other, and at that point, we knew he was directing Superman.
Mm.
We looked at each other and we just went, perfect choice for Superman.
And honestly, I'm actually just so happy he did a great job. I didn't have any doubt, but
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have asked for a better actor for Superman.
Yeah. You know what? Even the side characters too, like Metamorpho was great.
Mm.
That one scene, especially when obviously when we first meet Metamorpho, he's in the cage with Superman, and you get like the emotion. He's only in like two scenes of the entire movie, and he steals the show in both scenes. He was that good. And of course, you got my boy Nathan Fillion, Captain Malcolm Reynolds of Serenity, as Guy Gardner. Love it, love it,
Like,
love it, love it.
like he was the right type of asshole. But oh, my bad.
You're
Gotta bleep
fine.
that out.
No, I'm only bleeping out the F bombs.
Okay, boom. He did. So he was the right type of asshole for the movie. Like literally, like when you think Guy Gardner, you think of somebody like, oh, this fucking jerk, oh, walking around with the potty mouth, and literally trying to pick up every girl he sees, and literally like giving everybody the middle finger and shit, and doing all the shady work for the Guardians.
Yeah,
That's literally him. He did it so
he did it.
well.
I know. And the thing is, too, I mean, you see him again in Peacemaker, and he goes all out because that was R rated. Granted, it was one scene in Peacemaker, but he went all out in just that one scene, and that was great. In terms of like criticism, like any small things I didn't like about the film, again, I talked about like the monkeys, and I talked about how got a little cartoony and all that. I don't know. Though I think the weirdest part of the film, which again, I'm nitpicking at this point, I love the film. When Superman was fighting Ultraman and Lex was like, B7, like calling
Yeah,
out
yeah.
numbers. I don't know. That just felt weird to me. Again, I get what they were doing, but I don't know. I didn't like the execution of that. Was
I
there,
mean,
yeah, was there anything about Superman that even though you liked the film, where you're kind of like, mm, that didn't work for me?
the one thing I could say is Lex Luthor being more of a crybaby than
Oh, yeah, agreed.
be more of a crybaby, whiny little boy, like screaming at Superman, like, "Why are you doing this?
He's
why being so
he's
nice? Why being so nice? Why being so nice? Why
yeah,
being so nice? I'm gonna
he's
hurt
the
you.
spoiled
Why
rich
being so
boy.
nice?" Like,
He's a spoiled rich boy. Like I said, he locked up his ex-girlfriend. It's like, dude, like I don't know. And like
like,
but having said that, he did have some great villain moments. Like he kidnapped the guy, like the hot dog vendor,
yeah.
because he thought like he was friends with Superman, and he's like torturing the guy. Like great villain moments. But then there's the odd moment where you're like, you look like a spoiled little brat doing that, the rich boy kind of thing, and that didn't
Like,
work. Yeah,
like when I think about Lex Luthor, I think about somebody who's like rich like Batman, has the same type of what you call like resources as Batman,
dude,
but
My Lex Luthor is Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville.
yes, like more
That's how I
sophisticated.
picture Lex Luthor.
Like
That's
more
my Lex Luthor.
sophisticated. Like if you mess with them, he's gonna like what you call it, not kidnap you into like altered dimension. He's gonna like bring you to a back room, beat you up like a mob boss, like goddamn kingpin.
Again,
And then
that was Michael
literally,
Rosenbaum as Lex in Smallville. Like that's how because yeah, when I picture Superman, I usually picture Christopher Reeve. When I picture Lex Luthor, I picture um Rosenbaum.
Like think about like that way how Batman acts and way how Lex Luthor acts.
Hmm.
What you call it, of course, Batman decided to go the good side of the coin. Which is like what you call it when you're in trouble whenever you can't pay for a house. Literally, like Batman's just like, I bought the bank. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor, what you call it, like, I bought the bank. Now you owe me $1 million.
Yeah. Like
Where's
he's
that
greedy.
like? Where's that greedy type of like ball play that Lex Luthor is supposed to have? Not like start being whiny, start like literally like knocking over shit just for your interns to pick up.
Yeah.
And,
That
like,
that too. Yep. I remember that. He like spilt like a glass full of like pencils or pens or something like that. And he tells the intern to pick it up. It's like,
yeah.
that's not intimidating. So like, and again, I got nothing wrong with Nicholas Holt's performance.
No, he did good, but
Oh,
like,
he was fantastic. It's just the few things here and there with Lex Luthor, I went,
I feel like
that's not Lex Luthor.
I feel like he wanted to make us hate Lex Luthor like
True. Yeah.
enough, right, until like when he comes and tries to do his redemption arc
Hmm.
in the next Superman movie because apparently they're supposed to be fighting Brainiac
That's the
from what
rumor.
I've heard.
That is the rumor. Yeah, Man of Tomorrow, because he's going to wear the green armored suit that Lex Luthor wears in the comics and all that. Um, and the photo has the two of them together. So yeah, that is the rumor that they are teaming up to fight, say, Brainiac or something like that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Overall thoughts: Superman was great. Just a few nitpicking things here and there. In terms of James Gunn's five superhero films, this is probably like number four for me. I
Okay.
still I still have the first two, the first Guardians, the third Guardians, and the Suicide Squad over this, but I think it's better than the second Guardians film.
Yeah, it's better than the second Guardians film. Yes, I can take that
Hmm.
because I love the Guardians movie so much,
Oh, me
especially
too,
number three.
dude. The third, I love the third Guardians so much.
But I'm looking at both you and Chelsea. I was like, are we all gonna cry right now?
That's
Are we all gonna
that
cry?
that movie made me laugh, made me cry, made me cheer. Like it was like every emotion you could ever have. I felt when watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for the first time.
Mm.
Like it gave me everything. I loved it.
All
So
right,
yeah.
what's your number one pick?
So what's the one that we haven't talked about yet? That's Thunderbolts.
Yes, I wanted that to be my
It's
number one, but at the same time, I was like,
it's
oh,
weird. Like if you were to tell me at the beginning of the year that Thunderbolts was going to be my favorite superhero movie of the year, granted, I knew it was going to be a good movie. I was like, yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be good. I didn't expect it to be my number one. What I love the most about this movie was right out of the gate, they gave it to us. They killed Taskmaster just straight up. Like you watch the trailers, they made you feel like, and even promotion. The actress who played Taskmaster was like always there, promoting the film and everything like that. In the trailer, she was everywhere. So you were like, okay, she's part of the team. First 5 minutes of the movie, they kill her off. It's like they went there. Wow. And I love that it felt like an A24 independent film.
yes, yes.
They tried to avoid as much CGI as possible. Obviously, the stuff with Century, you had to have CGI. That's obviously, but like that was Florence Pugh jumping off the building at the beginning of the film. She actually did that.
That I don't know. I saw like in
Yeah,
promotional like
yeah.
trailers and
So
stuff.
like whenever they did something that was practical, they did it practical. Like I said, they went there, made it feel like an independent film. It didn't feel like an MCU film. Like it felt like an A24 film. Um, the chemistry with the actors was fantastic. Once again, that's what Marvel does well, with the exception of Eternals. Whenever they do a superhero team, the chemistry with the actors always works with the Avengers, with the Guardians, the Fantastic Four, now the Thunderbolts. They always have done a fantastic job with that. David Harbour steals the show. He's my favorite of the Thunderbolts, Red Guardian.
Yes, yes.
Um, and that's another thing too. The Thunderbolts, we were introduced to these characters through other movies and TV shows, and yet it felt like here's the funny thing: these were all side characters.
I mean, like that's what like most movies should be doing instead of like putting everybody into one movie at once and just being
Eternals.
like, here you go. Yeah,
That was Eternals.
like you
They,
need to have my
yeah,
bad.
one my biggest complaint about Eternals is they have 10 superheroes and they introduce all of them in one movie. It's like that's too many characters in one movie. If you introduce them in other movies and then brought them in, cool. That works. That's fine. But
Yeah,
these guys,
but
and it's also the while we did meet these characters beforehand, they were not the main characters of their movies. You know, like when the Avengers came out, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, they had their own films and then they were brought together. These characters, there wasn't a Yelena movie, there wasn't a Winter Soldier movie or a Red Guardian movie, but they brought them, but we met them in other movies and they came together, and it worked really well for that.
Mm,
And I think the character development is fantastic. Sentry, if okay, Sentry is the most important character of this entire film. If they messed up Sentry, the movie wouldn't have worked.
yeah, exactly.
And it was perfect.
See, like here's the thing, like
Mm-hmm.
as you were just saying, like I was trying to say, like doesn't matter if you're a main character or if you're a side character, it doesn't matter. Set the character up in other movies or make their own solo movies or even just their TV shows and then boom, put them all in one movie
Yep.
and you're fine. Don't need to be like you said, Eternals.
Yeah.
Where
I
literally
will.
we're trying to figure out like why is this person doing this?
Yeah.
Why is that person doing that? Like what?
Mm-hmm.
What? Like exactly.
Yeah. Um, I hated Valentina.
Man, she
I
sucked.
wanted her. Like, I remember you, me, Aaliyah, and Lorenzo went to see this movie, and Aaliyah was sitting right next to me. And I'm like, God, I hope this bitch dies.
But man, like she was the most whiniest, one of the most whiniest villains I ever met in the MCU. Because like what you call it, you have her going off and what was it?
Well, she has
Wakanda.
this attitude like I'm the most important person in the room
I was like, yeah,
in
no,
a
you're not.
very like toxic way. I guess toxic if that's the right word.
Yeah, when
But
did we introduce when did we introduce her? Like
we
what
first I think it was a post
Waka
credit scene in Black Widow. I think that's
Black
when we first met her, and
yeah,
then we
Black
saw her again in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
and then we saw her in Wakanda Forever.
Yes, we did. That's right. Yeah,
See, I didn't mind Wakanda Forever, but like it's just her character like, I want vibranium, I want vibranium, I want
yeah,
vibranium. Like,
yeah. No.
no. Like,
She's the
no, I don't like that.
politician that she's the whiny politician. That's
It's
what it
like,
is. Um,
oh man, like it sucked so bad because like if she just had at least 30-minute conversation with Nick Fury, the man who's literally
yeah,
helped start it all, she would just have a different outlook.
yeah, it's
But
true.
no.
Yeah, it's true. So we talked about the themes of these movies, how Superman's all about being kind and Fantastic Four is being all about being a family. Thunderbolts hit me too. Probably hit me the hardest with the theme. I'm not going to go in depth with it because obviously I'm not here to talk about my mental health, but I do
Mm.
suffer from
Or we could
anxiety.
just like, or you could just talk about just like
Yeah.
in general. Don't even talk about yourself. Like
Yeah.
everybody
Like
deals
a
with
lot of
like,
people suffer from anxiety and depression and, stuff like that. And this movie made you feel like, no, you're not alone.
yeah,
Because the whole point was Sentry has, so I don't know Sentry that well from the comics. He has like a split personality or something like that, right?
yes, he has a personality in comics. Literally, this movie literally like went word for word about his character. Literally, this drug addict, literally trying to find a quick fix, trying to get quick money. Literally signs up for an organization. Literally, what you call it? Sometimes powers bring out the best of you or the worst of you, whatever the strongest part is, and literally brought out the worst part in him, which was his personal multiple personality disorder. And then an otherworldly entity like the Phoenix Force, known as the Void,
Right.
literally took control of that and took advantage of that. And now, literally, whenever he uses his powers a little bit too much or starts like feeling a little bit too overconfident,
The void
when you
overtakes
have
him.
that when you have that mindset of everything and shit, you yeah, when you have that mindset of being in a dark place one whatever, and you get too carried away and then you tripped over yourself. That's basically him. He's tripping over himself.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. And then
Hmm.
that helps literally with the concept of the movie of like you're in a dark place, you're never alone. Literally, he was in a dark place, he tripped up, he literally couldn't deal with it anymore until he literally had friends who were also dealing with that stuff,
That's
literally
so
pulling him
that's
back out
another
of
thing.
his
I
rut.
That's another thing I want to point out. As I mentioned, how if they messed up Sentry, the movie doesn't work. And it's true.
Exactly.
It is true. But they backed it up with it's not just one character that's going through um whatever it is. Again, anxiety, depression. All of the characters are broken. Yelena and Red Guardian, there's that one scene where they kind of walk away and they're like, we can't defeat him. And they walk away. Red Guardian catches up to Yelena, and Yelena's like, I don't have a life. I put myself into work. I do this, I do that. I'm depressed. I go home and drink after a day of working. And Red Guardian just lets it out on her, being like, no, you're my daughter. I love you. I'm here for you. And it's just the idea of you're not alone. Like I think that was the most important of all, not to say like the other two films didn't have important messages. They obviously did. But like I feel like the mental health aspect is more effective towards the audience than the other things, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Because considering what happened in the last couple of years, literally mostly everybody's dealing with mental health. So literally watching like a movie
Especially
about
COVID.
this,
After
yeah,
COVID, a lot of people, their mental health like hit rock bottom, basically, right? And there's still to this day, 5 years after COVID, there's still people that are struggling with their mental health and everything. And so, like, I like the idea that even the heroes are broken,
which
like,
I'm
which I love. I love that they did that. And by the way, Jake Schreier, who directed the film, he's now directing X-Men.
what?
He's directing X-Men.
Okay, I'm happy about that.
So there you go. Clearly, he did a good job with this film, and they're trusting him with the X-Men, which I'm very excited about.
Well, this movie went around considering like he's gonna be working a movie with mutants
Yeah.
in society.
Again,
Like,
like,
yes,
yeah, mutants, like they deal with their own mental health too.
yeah.
So he's definitely going to use that sort of theme in the X-Men films for sure. And I'm hoping he directs like three X-Men films or something like that.
Oh, I would love that.
I would love that, man. Get like an X-Men trilogy that he directed. Um, so just curious, who was like the standout character for you in Thunderbolts?
In Thunderbolts, it would have to be
Because I said Red Guardian was my favorite.
Bob.
Yeah,
Bob.
Sentry. Yeah,
Bob.
I'm surprised they mentioned cocaine in the film too. By the way,
And I loved
that
it so
one
much.
dream, like it for a Marvel movie, like Deadpool and Wolverine even said we're not going to use cocaine, and that was
Angel
R
Dust.
rated, and that was R rated. We get a PG-13 one, and then they're in a dream sequence, where we see Sentry's past, and Sentry is in like a chicken suit, like fighting them, and they're like, "Why are you so mad?" He's like, "I was on cocaine at the time." It was like Marvel went there. They wouldn't even go there in their R-rated film, but they went there for a PG-13 film. Like that's crazy. But yeah, like I think, yeah, Lewis Pullman, who played Sentry, he's in terms of the acting, he was the best actor in the film, I think. And uh, fun note, so his character was Bob in this movie. His character in Top Gun Maverick, Bob.
So it's the same Bob.
Confirmed. Top Gun is set in the MCU.
It will always be said MCU. I
Yeah.
don't care what anybody else says. I was like, literally, I'll be watching the next Top Gun movie. They'll be in a bar, literally starting bar fights. I'm like, they need you in New Jersey.
Yep.
What are
And,
you doing here?
I mean, and not to mention, Thunderbolts has your celebrity crush, Florence Pugh.
We ain't gonna talk about that here.
No,
We ain't gonna talk about that here.
I know.
I'm too in love with that
No, I know. You love Florence Pugh. I know. She's fantastic. I love her
with
too.
all my heart.
Yep. But I think each of the characters too individually were handled very well. Like even Bucky, because Bucky, like he's been in the MCU longer than any of the other
No, like
characters.
no, it was a good like move to put him in this movie because all these characters are dealing with like mental what you call it like
He comes from
mental
experience.
health.
Yeah,
Yeah. This
he
man
comes
was
from it.
literally this man was literally kidnapped by terrorists, literally frozen time to do their like frozen multiple times throughout
They
time
play with his
to like
brain for decades.
and be a terrorist, literally against his own will.
Yeah,
Yeah, terrorist. And then literally trying to like deal with all that after he gets fixed.
yeah.
Now he's just like, okay, cool. These people need my help. Let's go help them out.
Hmm. No, it's true. So, anyways, my Thunderbolts is my number one pick. Uh, yeah. I don't know. Do you have any last minute things you want to say about Thunderbolts, or do you want to just end the episode?
Thunderbolts, I better see them in both both of the next Avenger movies.
Oh, they're confirmed for Doomsday for sure.
Look, I know they're confirmed for Doomsday, but I need to at least see Florence Pugh or literally Red Guardian, and including Bucky in the next in like Secret Wars. The next one,
I'm
I
sure they
forget.
will. I mean, like again, I don't know. They haven't confirmed any cast members for Secret Wars yet, but obviously they have confirmed the Doomsday cast. So
Like,
all I think there's six of them. Yes, all six Thunderbolts are going to be in um Doomsday. Yeah,
well, like what would be fun? What would be funny as a? I know we're getting a little bit over time right now, but what would be
that's fine.
funny for like a cast reveal for Doomsday would be like them trying to do the chairs again, and you just see Deadpool like come and just start kicking chairs. Like, no, no, no,
Dude,
no.
the
Yes,
the
they're
okay,
staying.
the chair watch thing. So when Marvel was confirming the cast members for Doomsday, they showed like the on-set chairs for the actors. It was like I don't know how long that
That was like 3, 5, like almost
five
five.
hours or something like that.
It felt like
They
five
literally
minutes,
moved
man.
from one chair, revealed the actor, and kept the camera on that chair for maybe 10, 15 minutes before moving on to the next chair. And the whole thing was about 6 hours long. That was the dumbest thing Marvel has ever done.
No, I need
And they
Deadpool to come in and
made
be like, never again.
Eternals.
No, I need Deadpool to come in and be like for the next
Just kick the chairs
reveal.
over.
The kick the chairs over, be like, no, no, we're not doing this over again. No, we're not doing this again. No,
But
no. I'm just gonna say them, okay.
that's the thing. When Marvel messes up, they have an escape. They can use Deadpool to like fix
Uh,
the mistake. You know what I
And
mean?
he's gonna like I would love him to use like different word like different nicknames for all the other characters. And once he gets to Robert Downey Jr., he's like, and the dude played another dude,
Oh
played another
God.
dude.
Yep. Tropic Thunder reference. Yeah. So anyway, my ranking once again, number 4 was Captain America: Brave New World. Number 3 was Superman. Number 2 is the Fantastic Four: First Steps, and number 1 was Thunderbolts. Brandon, what was your ranking?
It was the same thing as yours. So Captain almost the same thing as yours. It was Captain America as my number four, Thunderbolts at my number three, Fantastic Four as my number two, and Superman as my number one.
So it's just 1 and 3 in reverse for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that is our ranking of the 4 superhero movies that came out this year. What are your rankings? Put them down in the comment section below on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram as usual. We are the Movie Brothers Podcast. We're very excited to keep going with this podcast. We love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm Parker Quinn.
I'm Brandon Brown.
Good night and good news.
Peace.